In the vast silence of space, beyond the reach of stars, there exists something more powerful than any weapon humanity has ever imagined, something invisible, almost impossible to contain. Yet if harnessed, it could light up entire cities, power starships, and rewrite civilization itself. It's called antimatter. The mirror of our reality, the reflection of everything we are, made of nothing we can touch. When matter and antimatter meet, they annihilate, vanishing completely, leaving behind only pure energy. The ultimate paradox. Destruction that creates power. The universe's most dangerous dance, life and death in a single spark. And if that spark could be controlled, humanity would hold infinity in its hands. But there's a reason we don't. Because to grasp antimatter, to touch the essence of existence itself, is to play God with creation, and the universe does not forgive ease. Imagine looking into a mirror, not just seeing your reflection, but another world that looks exactly like ours, except everything is reversed. Every proton is an antiproton, every electron a positron, identical in mass and structure, yet opposite in charge. This is antimatter, not science fiction, not a myth, but a real, physical truth. In 1932, Carl Anderson discovered the first particle of this hidden universe. The positron, a positron found in cosmic rays. That discovery shattered the illusion of a single, simple universe. It proved that for every particle in existence, there is an equal and opposite partner waiting to erase it. It's a perfect balance, a cosmic symmetry written into the laws of nature. And yet, this balance holds a haunting question. If every piece of matter has its antimatter twin, why do we exist at all? Why didn't the universe simply cancel itself out? By logic, when the universe was born, matter and antimatter should have existed in equal amounts. Every atom of matter should have met its twin, annihilated, and vanished, leaving behind a cold, empty void. Yet somehow, that didn't happen. We exist. Stars, planets, oceans, people all built from matter, while antimatter seems to have vanished. This mystery is called baryon asymmetry, the imbalance between what should be and what is. Somewhere, in the first split second after the Big Bang, something tipped the scale. A slight, almost imperceptible difference allowed matter to outlast its mirror twin. That tiny bias, that subtle tilt in the cosmic equation, made existence possible. You're alive because the universe broke its own symmetry. It's strange to think about. Our entire reality, every breath we take, born from imbalance. The cosmos chose imperfection, and from that imperfection, consciousness emerged. To understand that imbalance, scientists had to chase it to the edges of creation itself. Beneath the fields of Geneva lies a machine like no other, the Large Hadron Collider, a ring of steel and magnets so massive it crosses national borders. Here, humanity recreates the first moments after the Big Bang, smashing protons together at nearly the speed of light. Each collision becomes a miniature explosion of energy, a glimpse into the universe's infancy. And from those violent impacts, antimatter is born. For the briefest instant, they exist, perfect reflections of matter. Then they touch the walls of their container, or even a stray atom of REN vanish. A single spark of annihilation, gone in a heartbeat. Each disappearance releases energy far beyond imagination. 1 gram could equal 40,000 tons of TNT antimatter. Is beauty in danger? If only we could capture it. If only we could contain it. The dream of antimatter is the dream of infinite energy, pure, clean, and endless. No smoke, no waste, just light. NASA once studied antimatter propulsion, imagining starships that could reach Mars in weeks and Jupiter in months. Because antimatter doesn't just burn, it converts mass directly into energy. A 100% efficiency rate. Nothing in nature comes close. But reality is cruel. To create a single gram of antimatter would cost over $1 trillion. And even if we could afford it, we couldn't store it. The moment it touches matter, it's gone. You can't lock pure annihilation inside a metal box. The only way is to trap it without touching it, choosing something invisible, something untouchable, a magnetic field, a cage made of force, holding the most volatile substance in the universe. At CERN, scientists built what's called a penning trap, a magnetic prison for antimatter. Inside, antihydrogen atoms float freely, untouched by matter, suspended in fields of electric and magnetic energy. They cannot touch the walls, or each holter, or even a speck of dust. They simply exist. The longest any human has ever held antimatter. 16 minutes. 16 minutes of control over the most dangerous force in the cosmos. 16 minutes of staring into the mirror of creation itself. It's a record of human persistence, and humility, a reminder that every step closer to understanding comes with risk, because in those moments, we're not just observing the universe, we are redefining Italiano, the tiniest flicker of instability, the faintest field fluctuation, and all that's left is energy, pure and unstoppable. To hold antimatter is to dance with perfection, and no one misstep ends it all. But with discovery comes temptation. If antimatter can release unimaginable power, could it also become the ultimate weapon? In theory, yes. A few milligrams could unleash a blast larger than any nuclear explosion in history. No fallout, no radiation. Just light and silence. It's the kind of power that governments and militaries can't ignore. The kind of energy that blurs the line between progress and apocalypse. Antimatter research is heavily monitored, both for safety and for secrecy. Because with this knowledge, humanity stands on a knife's edge. Would we use it to build worlds that never darken, or to destroy them? History tells us that whenever we find new power, we test its limits. The atom gave us electricity on Hiroshima. So, what would antimatter give us? A new dawn of exploration. Or at the end of everything. In 2009, whispers spread through the internet. CERN had created a gram of antimatter, and the Vatican had built a device to contain it. The rumor exploded after the film Angels and Demons, where a stolen antimatter capsule threatened to obliterate Rome. It was fiction, but fiction born from truth. CERN really had created antimatter, though not in grams, in billions of a gram. Still, that was enough to ignite imagination, because if a speck could hold that much energy, what could a gram do? What could a kid? Suddenly, the boundary between science fiction and reality began to fade. And for a brief moment, the world glimpsed the terrifying beauty of creation itself, that the same force that could light a city could just as easily erase it. It's a haunting reminder that knowledge and danger often walk hand in hand. But beyond the labs and myths lies the question that still keeps physicists awake at night. Where did all the antimatter go? If the universe began with equal parts of both, where is its mirror half? Some believe distant galaxies made entirely of antimatter may still exist, stars burning with the same light, yet made of the opposite essence. Others suggest something even stranger, that matter and antimatter are still balanced, but separate each in its own universe, divided by the thinnest veil of two cosmic twins, born to hater, destined ever to meet, and if they ever did, if the barrier between them cracked for even a moment, it could trigger another Big Bang. Creation and destruction, restarting the cycle. It's terrifying, beautiful, and almost poetic, because, perhaps, to the universe, endings are just beginnings. Wearing different faces. There's something haunting about realizing that everything you know, every planet, every person, every thought exists because of a tiny imbalance at the dawn of time. A fraction of a chance. If the universe had leaned the other way, there would be no galaxies, no light, no us, nothing. Our entire reality depends on an ancient cosmic accidenta, tilt in the scale of symmetry. Every heartbeat, every sunrise, every breath is a triumph of matter over its perfect twin. That thought is humbling. It reminds us how fragile life really is. How close everything always was to not existing at all. And yet, from that near nothingness, we've learned to question, to explore, to understand. From imbalance came awareness. From imperfection came wonder. Perhaps the universe's greatest creation isn't matter itself but curiosity, because curiosity is what defines us. Not control, not dominance, but the endless desire to know. We look at annihilation and call it potential. We stare into the void and see possibility. Antimatter isn't just a scientific pursuit, it's a reflection of our spirit, our defiance, our yearning to touch the untouched. Every collision, every fleeting atom of antimatter captured, every fragile second it exists is a whisper to the cosmos. We're still learning. We're still trying. It's the human story written in subatomic particles, a story of risk, failure, and hope. The same curiosity that brought us fire, flight, and fusion now reaches for the stars. Maybe that's what the universe wanted all along, not worship, not fear, but understanding. A creation that questions its creator. A spark that asks where the flame came from. And yet, in our pursuit of the dangerous, we've found healing. Antimatter already saves lives. In hospitals, positron stani, anti-electrons are used in PET scans every single day. They help doctors see inside the body, detect diseases, and save lives. The same particle that could destroy worlds, now used to preserve them. It's poetic antimatter as both healer and destroyer, savior and executioner. The duality of existence captured in a single spark. It reminds us that creation and destruction are not enemies, they are partners in the same dance. Every explosion of energy, every burst of light, tells the same story. The universe destroys to create, creates to destroy. We fear the unknown because it carries power. But sometimes, what we fear most is the key to understanding life itself. Even in annihilation, there is meaning. Some physicists call antimatter the God equation, made visible a reflection of the balance that holds reality together. For every light, there must be shadow. For every positive, a negative. For every action, an equal and opposite reaction. It's symmetry that keeps the universe from tearing itself apart. You can't create light without darkness. You can't have matter without antimatter. You can't have life without risk. The deeper we study antimatter, the clearer it becomes. This isn't just physics, it's philosophy written in the language of energy. The moment we forget that balance, we lose what makes us human. Because antimatter isn't just a substance, it's a reminder. Every creation demands a cost. Every miracle carries a shadow. And perhaps, in the end, understanding that truth is what evolution has been preparing us for all along. Close your eyes and imagine the entire universe, every atom, every planet, every star meeting its antimatter twin. In an instant, everything disappears. All mass converted to pure light. That's what antimatter truly is. Light, waiting to be born. And maybe that's the message hidden in it, that, even in nothing, there is infinite potential. Within every void, something sleeps, waiting to awaken. The universe wastes nothing. Even destruction becomes creation. And perhaps one day, when humanity grows wiser, not greedier, not more powerful, but more understanding, will learn to harness antimatter safely. Not to dominate, not to weaponize, but to explore, to create, to see. Because in the end, antimatter is not the end of everything, it's the beginning of understanding everything. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, somewhere out there, in the cold between galaxies, antimatter may still be dancing with its twin, an eternal waltz of existence and erasure, creation and collapse, light and shadow. The universe began in that dance, and maybe one day it will end in it too. But until that day, we are its children, born from imbalance, forged in annihilation, living proof that even destruction can give birth to beauty. Maybe that's the secret of it all, not to conquer the universe, but to understand that we're a part of its story. That life itself is the spark left behind when opposites collide. Antimatter, the infinite energy within nothing, the mirror of creation, the whisper of the cosmos reminding us sometimes the greatest power lies not in what we can hold, but in what we can imagine.